When you're looking to build compute-related solutions inside of Microsoft Azure, one of your options is, of course, virtual machines. And you probably guessed that Microsoft has the just perfect size virtual machine waiting for you up in the cloud to use. But how do they organize those? Let's take a look right now in this video where we'll talk about these machine VM series, virtual machine series that we have in Azure. Yeah, it's how they describe the different hardware that we can place our virtual machines on. For example, you might have seen an old A series. This was for entry-level VMs. A great example would be to build a test server with one of these. The problem is this series of virtual machines was retired back in 2024. The starting cost for this was just $11 per month. And you might be thinking, well, that's why Microsoft retired it. It was too inexpensive. No, that's not the case at all, as we'll see in a moment. How about a series that we still have today? Sure, that's the BS series. Yes, I just said BS. The BS series is burstable virtual machines. A great use case of this would be like a very small database where there's going to be very light usage on that database, but occasionally there will be spikes in the usage. So this virtual machine needs to be able to burst during these times of enhanced or increased usage. Notice the starting cost per month for this series is very low at that $3 per month. What about the D series? Well, the D series, there's many different families of these D series because this is when we get into general purpose hardware. Think about like a web front end. And one of the things we love about the D series is there's just so many options. Do you want 2 virtual CPUs and 4 gigs of RAM? No problem. Do you want 4 CPUs and 8 gigs of RAM? No problem. Just lots of different sizing options. And from a cost perspective, we start at $41 a month. Stepping it up, we've got the E series. The E series gets into increased memory footprints. Yeah, we could get all the way up to 672 gigs of memory in one of these E series VMs, starting at $58 a month. An example here would be SAP HANA, which is a version of SAP, the business analysis software that runs in memory. Yeah, the E-Series is all about these applications that offer great performance because they're running in memory. How about the F-Series? Yeah, this is where we get into compute-optimized virtual machines, like we would use in gaming. We can get core speeds here up to 3.7 gigahertz, for example, starting at $35 a month. Then we have the G series. This is a series of VM hardware that's storage optimized. Think like SQL database type hosting. And notice when it comes to storage, we can achieve sizes, raw sizes of the storage that are going to be 4 times that are available in the D series of virtual machines. Notice starting cost here of $320 per month. Now, what about getting into some serious compute power? How about high performance compute capabilities? Yes, that's our H series. So we might do something like weather modeling here on really fast CPUs. $581 a month is that starting cost. The LS series is storage optimized, larger and faster storage than with the other series that we've discussed. NoSQL databases would be a great example here, $455 a month starting cost. The M series, and by the way, we're almost done. The M series is memory optimized. SAP HANA would be a great example again, and notice we're getting into even larger memory footprints than we had before. 4 terabytes as an example for virtual memory. Wow, $1,000 roughly starting cost per month. The MV2 series, largest possible memory footprints here. Again, SAP HANA might be an example. Now we're getting up to 12 terabytes of RAM. Incredible. Notice the starting cost per month reflects that at approximately $16,000. And finally, what if we need to do machine learning as an example, and we need a graphics processing unit from NVIDIA to help us out? Well, that's what the N series is all about, and those are going to start at $657 and go up from there very quickly, as you might guess. So these are the series that are made available for our virtual machines, and obviously we should be pretty familiar with them. Now, the last thing I wanted to share with you here, just to make sure you've got everything you might need in this area, is the naming convention you're going to see. Notice in bold and non-italicized, it's things we always see, like the family, the number of CPUs, additional features in the version, but we could have a subfamily, a constrained CPU designation, or an accelerator type encoded in. So what does this look like? Well, how about the M8-2MS-V2? Yeah, this is the name of a series. And now you understand that every single character there has a meaning, with the exception of the underscore, I suppose. And this is how it breaks down. It is our M family. And we might remember the M family if we go back. Yeah, we should remember that the M series was memory optimized. Yeah, so this is a memory optimized type virtual machine, and the 8 is for 8 CPUs. The 2 is the actual 2 CPUs that we can use. The M and the S are for features, that's memory intensive and premium storage capable. And then, of course, this is the second version of this VM series. What's the deal with the 2 actual CPUs versus the 8 CPUs? Well, Microsoft does this clever thing. If we need everything else that this VM series offers us, like we need its storage, we need its we need its RAM. Yeah, so we need all the things that this series gives us, but we don't need the 8 CPUs. Yeah, the M8-2 gives us everything that the M8 had. It's just constraining the CPUs because we don't need all 8 and we're only going to get 2. So those kind of clever games can be played as well inside the VM series so that we can come up with, hopefully, that right assembly of hardware that is perfect for our workload. Thanks so much for joining me in this video, and I hope this sheds a lot of light for you on Azure Virtual Machine series that you are going to see available in your Azure portal.